Kevvie Walters has fired back at Phil Gould over claims the Broncos can't win the premiership this year. Brisbane are riding high after toppling the Rabbitohs and are sitting second on the ladder ahead of tomorrow night's game against the Roosters.
Oh, look, we worry about ourselves. I think Phil should be doing the same. You know, we know we've got some work to do defensively. We're aware of that, so we're working hard on that. But we have come a long way with our defence. There's a lot of belief from within our group, both the players and coaching staff and everyone involved in the club. But we're not the complete package yet, so we're still all working really hard to get that complete package. And when we do get that, and it's not far away, I can assure you, we might change a few people's minds.
Yes, a very big call from Gus Gould. Kevvie Walters not too happy about it. The Brisbane Broncos are flying at the moment. We said last night that they are a premiership contender and they can win the comp. That's my opinion. What do you think, Gordy?
There's two ways of looking at it. You can do the Gus... Well, I knew this was going to happen. I knew we weren't going to win. But no, I've heard this before. In 2000, Gus said this about the Broncos. Like, I remember it vividly because that was our motivation. And I remember Mad Monday, we rang him every hour on the whole team. But to his credit, I think he answered about 10 of them, but then just went on mute. But yeah, do you know what? I do believe Brisbane can. I think they needed X factor, and they got that in Reece Walsh, Adam Reynolds, game management. Yeah. I think that their hookers are doing a great job, and Billy Walters, and their forward pack is second to none when they're on.
So Gus has said this before to the Broncos.
Yeah, he told us in 2000.
In 2000, he said.
But he had a bit more like. He was right then because there was no Alf. I think Stephen Irford less. I think Lazo was at Melbourne Storm. So we lost about 7 players. Andrew G, Peter Ryan. We lost a lot of players, and it was a really young team. And we come back to beat his side in the grand final, which might have been the Roosters that year.
You still had Kevvie Walters, Darren Lockyer, yourself,
Wendell Saylor,
Shane Webke made a comeback from a busted arm for that game. It was a hell of a side.
They haven't made the finals though, Hoops, since Kevvie's been there, not since Seabold. So do you give them a chance?
Oh, massive chance. Look, I think it's vindication for Kevvie as a coach. A lot of blowtorch and pressure was applied to him in that position when he initially took over, but he made some big changes. He took an axe to the roster. He got rid of Matt Lodge. He got rid of Tavita Pangai. He went and signed Adam Reynolds. He went and signed Reece Walsh. What an injection those couple of players have been able to do in terms of transforming the way that Brisbane attack. But look, with respect to Gus, Canterbury got enough problems of their own at the moment. I wouldn't be worrying about wading into whether or not the Broncos can win the competition. They sit second. They're a damn good chance. While ever Adam Reynolds is fit and that forward pack that's chock full of origin stars is healthy, well, they've got to be a good shot.
I think Gus was saying that his concern was their defence. Attack-wise, fine, but he thinks defensively they just don't have it. What do you think, Mick?
Yeah, I think they can definitely win the comp, and they're going to score a lot of points, and regardless of the deficiencies in defence, they're going to back themselves to score more points than the opposition. And the attacking prowess of Reece Walsh, Adam Reynolds' control and kicking game, and the leadership of Capewell in that forward pack as well really galvanises the group. So I think they're a real shot.
Now, in this game, the big rematch, Walsh up against Tedesco. Walsh, well, he won in straight sets there the first 2 games. Queensland v New South Wales. Teddy gets his shot here. Now, Walsh has been in superb form. Has Walsh superseded or overtaken Tedesco in that #1 jersey?
Yeah, in reality, I think he has, Braith. People say, oh, that's a harsh call, that's a ridiculous call. But you can't take away from anything that James Tedesco has achieved over the course of his career. But let's talk about purely on form, what has been achieved and what we've witnessed on the football field this year. And this year, Reece Walsh has been one of the absolute standout players of the competition. And Teddy, well, he's just been a little bit down on the champion form that he normally maintains and sustains.
The players we had on, Reid and Josh last night, they were hesitant to say yes, right, because they respect Teddy, and Teddy's done it for a long period of time, and Reece has still got a long way before he gets or reaches the heights that Tedesco has for a long period of time now. But is it fair to say right now...
If you change James Tedesco's name, you say Reece Walsh is a better player. But it's because what James has done in the game. Yeah, mate, right now, this year, the way they played, Reece Walsh is playing better footy. Is he going to have a career? He would dream to have a career like James Tedesco. He's had an amazing career and is going to go down as that. But right now, if you said, who's the better player right now? Well, it's Reece Walsh.
The way I look at it is if you're signing one for next year, who would you sign? For mine, you'd sign Reece Walsh.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, Roosters coach Trent Robinson says it's time for his side to put the foot down and make a run for the finals as Victor Radley races the clock to be fit for tomorrow night.
He trained well yesterday, getting going, so today is the real test for him to sort of cross that line to play. So, yeah, he's an important in for us if he gets across the line. If not, it'll be the same team as last week. The understanding of what we're capable of is right there. And it's about us to go out and produce. It's time for us to have belief in where we're headed, what we're doing, and put the foot down tomorrow night.
They were great last week against the Titans, the Roosters, but this is a different beast. Premiership heavyweights, the Brisbane Broncos, who have been in superb form. Victor Radley, are we hearing, is he going to play or not?
Yeah, speaking to people at the Roosters today, both they're reasonably confident that Victor will play. I think what the Roosters and Trent Robinson are doing here, they're pushing all in. They know that their season's on the line. Victor's back in the number 13 jumper. He's back at lock. He'd been playing on an edge. A lot of people found that a little bit of a surprising move. He has had a hamstring issue. But by putting Victor back to 13, I think Robbo's trying to go all-out attack. To beat Brisbane, they're going to have to score points. That's an area that they have really lacked in this season.
Can they win this one, Gordy?
Oh, I think they can. They've got to obviously reproduce what they did last week. They were outstanding against the Titans, but Brisbane are a totally different outfit. So you think Brisbane have jumped every hurdle, and this is another one. They're always great clashes, and they got the wood on each other. They've had some great battles, but you think Brisbane should be too strong.
Yeah, Brisbane have been consistent all year. You know what you're going to get, right? We're pretty confident they'll turn up and they'll put in a stellar performance, or at least a 7 or 8 out of 10. The Roosters, we're not sure. They were great last week. They need to back that up. Now, if they do lose, they're gone.
Oh, they're
Finals
gone, bro. They're gone. Like, if you look at their differential, it's minus 88 points. So they've got to win every game from here on in, irrespective.
Can they
and then
do it?
hope that other results.
Penrith?
No, I don't think that they can.
Brisbane, Parra, do they have?
They've got a tough draw.
I don't think they have. And I think you mentioned the other week, like when they sat Tedesco out, if they thought they were any chance, they would have been all chips in way back then. Like, they have to win pretty much every game and hope that they don't drop one. So it'd be an amazing feat, but I think that the Roosters, the hill's too big to climb.
They keep referencing, Gordon, the 8 games in a row that they won last season, but they were a different football side last
Totally
year, Brad.
different.
Sammy Walker was still calling the shots in conjunction with Luke Keary. Teddy was in electric form. Jared, is a Lionheart and was on fire last week against the Gold Coast Titans, but with respect to that Gold Coast team, it was a Titans team without Tino in it. So the Broncos are a different gravy proposition this week.
Joey Minor was in career best form as well last year, Hoops, and they just don't have that same energy about them. I can't see them going on a run, and there's too many teams in between them as well. They need a lot of sides to drop off for the Roosters to make the 8. I think even if they win tomorrow night, I don't think they make the 8.
Well, we're going to know exactly where they stand tomorrow night, whether they got a chance to make the 8 or whether they are actually, and whether they are back after that win against the Titans.